Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Monday, May 2nd, 2016, around 7:25 in the morning, Billerica, Massachusetts. Going to be one of those damp, dreary, and gross days out today. Drizzle, heavy rain, showers, only going to be in the 50s. This is going to be like this for most of the week. We'll probably get some sunny breaks, but we'll be stuck in this temperatures, maybe by the weekend improvement, but we'll wait and see about that. Some news to report. The Boston Red Sox swept the New York Yankees last night. The score was 8-7. Red Sox in first place in the American League Eastern Division. They have off tonight. They'll be facing off against the leaders of the Central Division in the American League, the Chicago White Sox. In the NBA playoffs last night, the last first round game, the Toronto Raptors beat the Indiana Pacers by the score of 89-83. This is the Raptors' first playoff series win since 2001. They'll be facing off against the Miami Heat in round 2. And the San Jose Sharks beat the Nashville Predators in Game 2 of the Western Conference semifinals by the score of 3-2. The Sharks are up 2-0, and the series heads back to Nashville for Games 3 and 4. And the Sharks were great on the road. They could sweep this series, but Nashville's probably going to try to come back. And it's Happy Flag Day in Poland, and it's Happy National Teachers Day in Iran. The Iron Sheik's happy about that. And it's Happy Brothers and Sisters Day in the United States. And that's about it on the news. My first video blog subject of the day is the start of the top 100 greatest professional wrestlers of all time. This is a very big list. I'm going to be doing 10 wrestlers each day. I got this idea from a lot of wrestling podcasts. I've been doing the top 100 greatest wrestlers of all time. I'm going to be doing my top 100 greatest wrestlers of all time. Most of these wrestlers are wrestled in like the United States, but there's some scattered from Mexico and Japan as well, but this is mainly kind of focused on like North America. And here are the top 100 greatest professional wrestlers of all time, starting from number 100 to number 91. This go around. Number 100 on this list of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time: Scott Hall, aka the Diamond Stud, aka Razor Ramon. Scott Hall was like kind of in the 1980s, like an up-and-coming wrestler, wrestling for AWA and a few regional territories, and also he wrestled in Japan. He got really his big break in 1992 when he wrestled as Razor Ramon in WWE, winning the Intercontinental title 4 times and having some amazing matches with Shawn Michaels, Big Daddy Cool Diesel, Jeff Jarrett, and a few others. And then when he went to WCW, he's part of the Outsiders with Kevin Nash. And Scott Hall was great, but he had a lot of demons, which was well documented. But he's clean and sober, and he's in the WWE Hall of Fame. He comes in at number 100. Number 99 on this list of the top 100 greatest professional wrestlers of all time. Hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert. Eddie Gilbert was a great heel in several southern regional territories, having feuds with Jerry the King Lawler, and he was one of the creative forces of ECW. But Eddie Gilbert would burn his bridges a lot with promoters, and it's very sad because he could have been like one of the greatest heels of all time, and he also was a great creative person back. He passed away very young at the age of 33 in 1995 of a heart attack. Number 98 on this list of the top 100 greatest professional wrestlers of all time, the Olympian strongman Ken Patera. Ken had he was a weightlifter representing the Olympics in 1972. Then he went into the world of professional wrestling. He was a strongman, famous for the winning full Nelson neckbreaker. He won many regional tag championships, the WWE Intercontinental Championship, one of the greatest heels of his time. and he had managing by Bobby the Brain Heenan. He bleached blonde his curly hair, and Ken Patera is like great. He won a couple most hated wrestlers of the years awards. Number 97 on this list of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. The man that rules the world. Sid Vicious, a.k.a. Sid Justice, a.k.a. Psycho Sid. Psycho Sid had a over 20-year career in the world of sports entertainment. He started in Memphis under Lord Humongous, with a Jason Mask, and then he became Sid Vicious. Wrestled in World Class. Eventually he went to WCW. Was part of the Four Horsemen, and then he went to WWE as Sid Justice, back to WCW as Sid Vicious, wrestled for USWA, winning the USWA title a couple of times, eventually coming back to the WWE, two-time WWE champion. Even though he was a heel, he was so over as a face. He should have maybe a long reign as WWE champion, and he goes back to WCW, wins the WCW title a couple of times. He's famous for having that, infamous for like jumping off the top rope and compound fracturing his leg. That was a gruesome injury. But Sid had very great charisma. He could have been like the 90s version of Hulk Hogan if he stuck around like from territory to territory, but he had to leave every time he could because there's an urban legend he needed time for softball season because he loved playing softball. Number 96 on this list of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. Diesel, aka Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash dominated the WWE in the early 1990s. The WWE ran on Diesel power. He held the WWE Championship for a year. He was the worst drawing champion of all time, though, but he just had a lot of charisma. Then went to WCW as the Outsiders. He eventually got the book there. He was the top booker and won the WCW World title a few times. He's famous for the Finger Point of Doom. He's a WWE Hall of Famer, Kevin Nash. Number 95 on this list of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, Terry Bam Bam Gordy. Terry was famous for being part of the Fabulous Freebirds with Michael P.S. Hayes and Buddy Roberts. He actually won the UWF World title, but he's known more as being a great wrestler in Japan. He was one of the greatest foreign wrestlers going to Japan. He had some classic matches in Japan. He teamed with Steve Dr. Death Williams at the Miracle Violent Connection, and Terry Gordy could have been, but Terry Gordy was great in foreign lands. Passed away 2001. Number 94 on this list of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, Chief Wahoo McDaniel. Wahoo McDaniel is a legitimate American Indian, Native American, not like other wrestlers who used the Native American as gimmicks. But Wahoo McDaniel was really legitimately Native American. He was a former football player. He wrestled in several regional territories, winning many regional titles, but he never got the world title, which was kind of a shame. He won 5 times U.S. champion, also Mid-Atlantic champion as well. He feuded with Nature Boy Ric Flair, Greg the Ham Valentine, Johnny Valentine, Nick Bockwinkel, among others. The one thing that Wahoo McDaniel never got was a run in the WWE in the Northeast, but they had its own Native American wrestler who was a top star, Chief J. Strombo, who's really Italian, but Wahoo probably was bitter about that. Number 93 on this list of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, Eddie Graham. Eddie Graham was a top villain in the New York area in 1950s, teaming with his fictitious brother, Dr. Jerry Graham. They weren't really brothers in real life. And then eventually he went to Florida to spy into championship wrestling from Florida. And he was a face down there. In the 1970s he retired and he became NWA president. He passed away in 1985 of a self-inflicted gunshot wound after Dusty Rhodes left championship wrestling from Florida to go to Jim Crockett Promotions. Number 92 on this list of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, Tully Blanchard. Tully had over a 15-year career in the world of sports entertainment, wrestling for a few regional territories, Southwest Championship Wrestling, what his father owned that. He was famous for being a member of the Four Horsemen, but Tully Blanchard had a great singles career, winning the NWA TV title and the NWA United States Championship. He was famous for that feud with Magnum TA, the I Quit match at Starrcade 1985. Also, he feuded with Dusty Rhodes. Later on, he teamed with Arn Anderson, and they won NWA and WWE Tag Team titles. They were known as the Brainbusters in WWE. When he and Anderson negotiated a deal to go back to WCW in late 1989, Tully flunked a drug test, and the WCW reneged on that deal, and Tully Blanchard never wrestled for a major promotion again in the United States. He wrestled for a few more years, but now he spreads the word of Jesus Christ throughout churches in the United States. Number 91 on this list of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, to end this list right now, is Dr. Death Steve Williams. Steve Williams, Oklahoma. He played for Oklahoma Sooners as a football and wrestler. He turned pro. He was known for being a tough wrestler, wrestling in Mid-South and UWF. He also wrestled for WCW in a few regional territories, but he's known for having a great career in Japan, and in the 1990s he was in ECW briefly, and he was supposed to get a big push in 1999 to face off against Stone Cold Steve Austin for the WWE title, but he injured a few preliminary wrestlers, and that push was derailed, which was pretty shameful, because I think Dr. Death and Stone Cold would have had a major feud. And Dr. Death passed away in 2009. And that's about it on that. I will be back for 2 more video blogs: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. One will be about the Big Ten Network, and the third and final video blog in the personality profile. Tonight's personality profile will be about Hockey Hall of Famer Glenn Anderson. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a truly winning guy. Molly Roseblood of WCCO X has nice legs. Elizabeth Hart so stunning. She's got nice legs as well. Amy Swenzy so awesome. Julie Gower, Fox 25, is stunning. And in the words of Bruce Cronin, former co-worker at Hot Hank State of Technology, want to put a wager on that, Richie? See you later.